A secret buried beneath the earth for 50 years was waiting for the right person at the right time in the right place. That person was Marcus, a 42-year-old father of 3 who never caught a break in life. But that day, he was about to learn to believe in destiny. The Riverside construction site on Chicago's north side was quiet in the early morning hours. The rumble of concrete mixers hadn't started yet. Workers hadn't arrived. Only Marcus was there. He was always early, always the first to arrive, because overtime meant bringing home a little more money. Marcus's hands bore the marks of 15 years in construction. Calluses, cuts, cracked skin. Each one told a story. Each one was proof of his struggle to survive. At exactly 6:30 a.m. before the others arrived, he always started digging the foundation in the same corner. This morning was no different. He picked up his pickaxe, took a deep breath, and made the first strike. The soil was moist and heavy. Last night's rain in Chicago had softened the earth, but it also made the work harder. Marcus didn't mind. He had 3 children, 16-year-old Emily, 14-year-old David, and 8-year-old little Sophia. Each had dreams. Emily wanted to be a nurse, David an engineer, and Sophia couldn't decide yet, but that was normal at her age. It was for these children that Marcus got up every morning, sweated every day, and came home tired every evening. His wife Sarah worked cleaning jobs. Together, they could barely make rent. Vacations, luxury shopping, buying brand-name clothes for their children were unthinkable. But Marcus never complained. Never. The first half hour, everything was normal. Pickaxe strikes, sounds of stones coming from the soil, his own breathing. A familiar rhythm. But at exactly 7:43 a.m., clank. The pickaxe hit something hard. Marcus stopped. He'd been doing this job for 15 years. He could immediately tell if it was stone, pipe, or root. But this sound was different. It was like metal, but different. He knelt down. With his gloved hands, he began digging in the soil. His fingertips touched a cold, smooth surface. His heart began to race. He started digging faster, and then he saw it. An old metal box, rusted but solid. There were letters on it, but they were worn away, unreadable. Marcus's breathing quickened. He looked around. No one had come yet. He checked his watch, 7:51. The other workers would come at 8. He pulled the box from the soil. It was heavy. There were things inside. Sounds were coming from it. 1,000 thoughts ran through Marcus's mind. Should he call the police? Or... He opened the box. What was inside was the most beautiful sight he'd ever seen in his life. Golden certificates, old documents, and money. Lots of money. Old paper bills, but well preserved. Marcus's hand began to tremble. He'd never seen this much money together in his life. But then he saw the documents, and everything changed. The first document had the surname Thompson written on it, dated 1967. The second document said Rodriguez. The third said Johnson. Marcus blinked. This wasn't just money. This was families' secrets, their pasts. He began to examine the documents more carefully. There was a house deed belonging to the Thompson family, sold in 1967, but the money was never received. There was a company document belonging to the Rodriguez family, something that should have passed from father to son but was lost, and belonging to the Johnson family, a charity will worth millions of dollars. Marcus put his head in his hands. This wouldn't just change his life. This would change 3 families' lives. And at that moment, he had to make the hardest decision. He could take the money. No one had seen it. No one knew. He could secure his children's future. He could end Sarah's working day and night. They could buy a house for themselves. But those documents were other families' rights. Marcus sat there for long minutes, the box open, its contents before his eyes. The choice he would make would change the fate of not just him, but 4 families. Finally, he stood up. He took his phone from his pocket, but he didn't dial the police number. Instead, he did something different. First, he searched for the surname Thompson on Google. Result: David Thompson, 72 years old, living in Chicago, retired teacher. His wife died of cancer last year, living alone in a small apartment. Marcus's heart tightened. This man was unaware of his grandfather's house deed, unaware of his rights lost for 50 years. Second search: Rodriguez family. Result: Maria Rodriguez, 45 years old, a single mother raising 2 children. Her father's company went bankrupt. But it never actually went bankrupt. Documents were lost, rights were usurped. Third search: Johnson family. This was a bit more complicated. Result: Michael Johnson, 38 years old, has a wife and 3 children. Their financial situation is very bad. Unaware that a great uncle had left millions of dollars in a charity fund, Marcus closed his phone. His eyes were filled with tears. At that moment, he heard a sound. Workers were coming. It was 8:15. He was very late, but he had already made his decision. He carefully buried the box back in the soil. But before taking its contents, he photographed each document. He counted the money. Exactly $47,000. With this money, he could number not like this. That day after work, Marcus didn't go home. Instead, he went to the Chicago Public Library. He researched for hours. He found each family. He learned their addresses. He learned their stories. Thompson family. David's grandfather sold his house in 1967. But the buyer company never paid. He'd been seeking justice for 50 years. David was trying to get by on his retirement pension. Rodriguez family, Maria's father, had established a small construction company. The company was successful, but his partner stole the documents and transferred the company to himself. Maria now works 2 jobs to support her children. Johnson family, Michael's great uncle, was a wealthy businessman who did charity work. Before dying, he left millions of dollars to his nephew, but the will was lost. Michael now works 3 jobs with his wife. When Marcus came home, it was 11 p.m. Sarah was worried. "Marcus, where were you? I was so worried." Marcus looked into his wife's eyes. "Sarah, I need to tell you something." He told her everything: the box, the money, the documents, the families. Sarah was shocked at first. Then, "Marcus, you're an incredible person, but our children, our future." Marcus smiled. "Sarah, doing the right thing is sometimes difficult, but I want to leave our children not wealth, but righteousness as inheritance." The next day, Marcus didn't go to work. Instead, he made visits to 3 homes. First stop, David Thompson's house. When he knocked on the door, the old man was surprised. "Hello, Mr. Thompson. I'm Marcus Williams. I want to show you something very important." When he showed David his grandfather's house deed, the old man's eyes filled with tears. Is this real?" "Yes, Mr. Thompson. And this is the money that belongs to you." Marcus handed over $15,000. David began to cry. "I've been waiting for 50 years, for 50 years. Second stop, Maria Rodriguez's house. When she opened the door, there were 2 small children behind her. "Senora Rodriguez, I'm Marcus Williams. I found very important documents about your father's company." When he showed Maria the documents, the woman was shocked. "Papa's company, is it still mine?" "Yes, and this is the money that belongs to you." Marcus handed over $16,000. Maria fell to her knees. "Dios mío, this isn't real. How can I thank you?" Third stop, Michael Johnson's house. His wife opened the door. "Michael isn't here, he's at work. Night shift ... I'm Marcus Williams. I've come about your husband's great-uncle's will." They called Michael at work. The man came running. When he saw the will, saw the money. This isn't real. My great-uncle left me nothing." "He did, Mr. Johnson. The documents were lost. And this is the money that belongs to you." Marcus handed over $16,000. That night when Marcus returned home, Sarah was crying in the kitchen. But these were tears of happiness. Marcus, 3 families called, David Thompson, Maria Rodriguez, Michael Johnson. They all called you. They all thanked you. They all described you as an angel. Marcus hugged his wife. "Sarah, today I didn't just give money. I gave hope. I gave justice. But Marcus, us. Our money," Marcus smiled. "Sarah, we are very rich. Our children are healthy. We love each other. And today we changed 3 families' lives. Is there greater wealth than this?" But the story didn't end there. A week later, Marcus's door was knocked. David Thompson, Maria Rodriguez, and Michael Johnson were there. All 3 had come together. "Mr. Williams," said David, "we 3 families talked. You changed our lives. Now we want to change yours." "I don't understand." Michael stepped forward. "I'm an engineer. Maria knows construction business. David knows accounting very well. The 3 of us want to establish a company for you." "What company?" "Williams Construction Company," said Maria. "Your company. We'll be partners." Marcus was surprised. "But I'm just a worker." "No," said David. "You're a leader, an honest leader. And honest leaders are very hard to find." 6 months later, Williams Construction Company became Chicago's most trusted construction company. Marcus now worked with plans, not pickaxes. Sarah had quit cleaning work and was managing the company's finances. Emily had started nursing school. David was preparing for engineering college. And little Sophia had finally decided she would be a businesswoman like her father. But Marcus never forgot. Every morning when he came to work, he would pass by that old construction site, look at the place where he found that box, and he would say to himself, "Sometimes the greatest treasures are hidden not underground, but in our hearts." David Thompson was no longer alone. Maria Rodriguez's children looked after him like a grandfather. They had formed a big family together with Michael Johnson's family. And Marcus, while Marcus supported one family's livelihood when he was just a construction worker, now he supported dozens of families' livelihoods. That secret underground was really waiting for the right person, Marcus Williams. Not just the man who found the money, but the man who found justice. And so, a construction worker's single pickaxe strike changed 4 families' lives forever. Because sometimes the greatest wealth lies not in what we possess, but in what we share.